I've performed a deep dive into my life priorities and have chosen habits that will help me to solve the challenges that I'm facing within each of the focus areas of my life. I will now share with you each of the challenges that I'm facing in the focus areas of my life, the aspects of the focus areas that I've chosen to give attention to, and the reasons why. And then I'll go through the habits that I've chosen that align with the challenges that I'm trying to solve within each of the focus areas. I've already experienced such a big change in my life since I started following this method of designing my life. I feel less overwhelmed, and this is because I've already decided to do actions that actually align with my life priorities. I no longer waste time. I just get up and do the things that I said I will do. This has helped me to stay consistent and gain progress in the areas that matter most to me. Let me show you what I mean. My life priorities in the order of importance. First one is health, followed by relationships, hobbies, wealth, and then my career. I already mentioned this in the previous video. What I'm now going to share is the purpose and mainly the challenges that I'm trying to solve in each of my life priorities, and also give you the reasons why. For health, I'm trying to have longevity and mental well being. What do I mean by this? With longevity, I want to live a long and healthy life free of illnesses and chronic diseases. With my mental well being, I want to have mental clarity and emotional stability. I noticed during my pregnancy and also right after giving birth that I wasn't really well in terms of my mental health. There was one of the days that really broke me down, and I had what they call the baby blues. And this made me want to know more about my own mental health and how the hormones changing actually affect my mental health. I read a book, and I will share more about that book in another video, but it really helped me to understand exactly what I need to do during each phase of my life in order to get the mental well being that I want to have going further, even in my old age. With regards to relationships, the challenge I'm trying to solve or what I want for my life, I want to have deep, meaningful connections with the people that are in my life. My hobbies, the purpose of having these hobbies or what I want to get out from them is to gain joy and express my creativity. So, with the joy, I want to do things that actually bring happiness to my life and satisfaction. With creativity, I want to express my creativity and be able to explore new ideas and skills. Wealth. Over here, I focus on having financial security and building a legacy. Wealth building and leaving a legacy with a lot of South Africans was actually suppressed by the experience of having apartheid. And I'm not blaming apartheid for everything. However, um, a lot of the people who experienced apartheid, our parents didn't have the same opportunities that we currently have. And yes, the world has moved forward, and there's a lot that we have learned since then. However, it was difficult for our parents and our grandparents to actually leave legacies of wealth that we could have benefited from. I don't want that for my kids. I want to leave a legacy for my kids and my grandchildren that they can benefit from for years to come. My career. The challenge that I'm trying to solve here is actually to just contribute meaningfully to the organization that I work with. This also means I want to make an impact through the work that I perform in my organization. Let's go deeper. Within my focus area of health, I have broken it down into 4 aspects: nutrition, exercise, sleep, and my emotions. I've noticed each one of these aspects actually has a contribution to the way that I'm feeling, my health, and my vitality. So, if any part of this is lacking, I will definitely feel the repercussions in either my mental health or my physical well-being. I have chosen to create habits that are simple and will be easy for me to implement. I've already implemented some of these habits and I'm already seeing the change in my life. Nutrition. I want to have a savory breakfast, basically breakfast with no sugar or very, very limited sugar. Have a vegetable as a starter or a salad as a starter before having my lunch and my dinner. When I do groceries and I get back into the house, immediately I want to ingredient prep those groceries so that I don't have a struggle each time performing the same tasks in order to make a meal. Also, where it's possible, I would like to create meals for my breakfast and my lunch ahead of time in order to save the time during the week. This is especially important during the week because I actually struggle when I have to work and also balance having a balanced diet. The reasons why I've chosen these, the first two are because I want to balance my glucose levels. I don't want spikes in my glucose levels. And I actually got these two tips from a fellow YouTuber. Give me a second. She wrote a book providing you with all sorts of tips, and the one of two of the tips is to have a savory breakfast and a vegetable starter. In this particular book, there's 4 tips in order to balance your blood glucose levels, and these two I have chosen to implement. I like this book because she actually also gives you like recipes and things that will make it easier to start these habits in your life. So I've already started. I'm loving it. I've only tried out about 1 or 2 of the recipes, and other recipes are recipes that I already knew, but I'm already seeing the benefits. So let's move on to exercise. I've chosen only 2 habits to form over here, and I've already started forming them. I already go to gym 4 times a week. Over here, I've written 3 times. The third time is a mobility exercise. It's something like stretching and building the muscles all at the same time, but these muscles are focused on your mobility. Um, and then the second one is to have an after dinner walk in order to make sure that I get some physical activity immediately after having the food. Actually, this is also one of the tips that the glucose goddess gives in order to improve your blood sugar levels. Well, if you have a kid, you know how tough it can be. Waking up in the middle of the night, having to feed him, making sure that he is not getting too hot, his temperature is regulated, all of that disturbed my sleep, especially in the beginning of my baby's life. And even now, he still has struggles falling asleep because now he's teething, and there'll always be something that kind of disturbs my sleep cycle until he is able to sleep throughout the night. Currently, he's not able to sleep throughout the night. So, a focus area for me is to actually improve my sleep. And what I've chosen as habits to form, and I've already started practicing these as well, is to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time. During the night, I will not have much control over the amount of sleep that I get, the deep sleep that I get. So, what I can control, what is within my power, is my sleep hygiene, making sure that I get to bed on time, the same time every day, and go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. And in order to support this, I have started following a wind down routine. With regards to my emotions, I'm I've started a habit of writing down my daily snippets. Daily snippets are more of a way to quickly write down something that is not an entire journal entry, but just memories that I really find important for the day to capture them and have them there. And this has also kind of helped me to form stories of my life, see how my life is progressing, have memories that I might have forgotten, just recorded. And looking back like a year or 2 ago, um, I would have really loved to have started this earlier. I started this particular habit last year, and I have written memories of my past that I remember, I've written down things that bring joy to my life and memories that I really cherish, the things that I find most important to me. Another habit, I haven't started this one, is to do 5-minute breath work every day. For now, I've written it down. I know what I want to do. So when I do form these habits, it'll be easier because I don't have to choose anymore. I've already chosen how I want to design my health and going forward, how to achieve these with simple actions that I can take every day. Moving on to relationships. This is very personal and it reflects where I am in my life. You might have a different situation, but I'm hoping that you can learn from what I've written over here and perhaps choose habits that you want to form that are more beneficial towards you and the relationships that you are trying to form in your life. I want to focus on my family, my immediate family, focusing on my romantic life with my husband, and parenting with my little baby. And then I have my extended family who have been through a really, really tough time, and also focus on my friends, the relationships that I have with my friends. With my romantic life, I've already been expressing my appreciation, but I think knowing our love languages, the way that I express appreciation is through words, and his love language is through actions. So I want to express my appreciation through actions a bit more so that he can also recognize immediately just how much I appreciate him. I want to spend more quality time with him. Yeah, of course, having a baby changes a lot of things in life, including the quality time that we used to spend. So I want to get back to that. Now that I have decided consciously that I want this, it's easier to actually take steps to get it done. Parenting. When my mom was here, just after I gave birth, she stayed with us for about 6 weeks in order to help with the new baby and just to get me started off in my parenthood journey. What I really enjoyed was our time that we spent reminiscing about our experiences from the past. She's so funny. She's shared such a lot of funny moments that I had even forgotten, and I started recording them, and I was just having a blast with my mom being around. As a parent myself, I really liked that, and I want to create those moments for me and my baby boy. I want to create those moments by writing them down and being able to one day recall all of these and share them with him. Another habit that I've written down is to form daily habits for him. He's still a baby, he can't form his own daily habits. So, forming good daily habits for him is important, like the morning habits and the nighttime routines that will get him into a good, stable flow of the systems that he can follow in his life. Once I have more kids, I would like to spend more one on one time with them. So, this particular one is for later on. My extended family, they've been through a really tough time. My grandfather passed away earlier this year in February. My mother in law has dementia and it's just progressing and it's getting even worse. My father in law was diagnosed with a brain tumor. Since then, it's been removed and he's now going through chemotherapy, but the prognosis is really not that positive. The whole family is helping out, and I find it important that I also have a role in each of my other extended family members by supporting in any way. So I've written here that small acts of help, even if I'm not helping my those people directly, but helping the people who support them, like my husband. Um, what I found important is that they have healthy meals, for example. So we invite them over, share a meal together, play games after supper, and just have those really important connections and build memories that we can look back and say that we really spend quality time with them. But important over here, is to have small acts of help and to reminisce with them as well. During this period that we've already spent, we have such a lot of memories. We've gone on holidays together. We celebrated my wedding, me and my husband's wedding, and all of those are memories. And looking back at their life now that they are older is quite important. Friends, my friends live actually far away from me, and what I've noticed is that it's easy to actually miss out on the wins that they have in life and even the challenges that they might be facing. So over here, I've written down that I want to know and celebrate the small wins that my friends have. And I want to give them support and also receive support in areas of my life that are quite challenging. And for all the relationships that I have, I actually want to practice active listening. I love talking, which is all good and well, but in order to build those connections, active listening is one of the skills that I want to develop so that when we engage with each other, everybody feels that they've had a moment to say their piece and also feel heard, understanding what they're really going through, having that connection of somebody actually understands what I'm going through can really be helpful on its own. Not solving the problem for them, but really understanding this is where this person's life is at right now. With my hobbies, like I said, I'm trying to find joy and express my creativity from these hobbies. My hobbies include gathering knowledge and developing my skills, gardening, and also content creation. Under knowledge and skills, I've decided to take up reading each night. This is quite easy now because I just use my Kindle and I can read as much as I want till I fall asleep, as long as I'm in bed the same time. I would like to learn one new concept per day and also practice that concept. So, in order for the concept to stick, it's important to actually practice it. I would like to join an online community, and I'm talking about being actively in that community and a community that I don't own. I don't want to create a community and then I want to actually join a community and stay active in it. And I want to take up one skills class. Once I've mastered that class, then I can move on to the next one. For example, I have a piano that I actually bought back in COVID days. I learned some of the songs off by heart, but I actually haven't practiced my chords and things like that. So I want to take up piano lessons. It might not be now, could be later on. I want to take up piano lessons and I want to do painting lessons. Not now, maybe later. I've already been gardening for about 3 years since we moved into this house. And I've experimented by trying out different layouts in my garden and checking out what works well for this particular climate because it's quite different from South Africa. But the two habits that I actually want to build over here is to keep a gardening journal so that I can record the changes that I see in my garden. And the second one is to have 5 minute weeding, taking out all the weeds and also fighting all the slugs and the snails. I swear, this year, the slugs and snails just did a number on me and on my garden. Every time that I would plant my seeds or plant my seedlings, just as they're growing, the slugs ate them. Just as they're growing, the slugs eat them. So this year, the only things that are actually growing well and survived the slugs and snails being really just mean to my garden, I'm growing tomatoes, some spinach, some nasturtiums, and the cucumber is now catching on well. But everything else is just gone. Content creation. I would like to have 5 minutes of ideas, brainstormings every day, capture B-roll of my daily life so that I can use it to show you how I'm actually implementing all of this. Ask for feedback from you. On that note, please comment down below by sharing what habit you have formed in the last month or so. Moving on to wealth. Well, I'm trying to have financial security and build a legacy. So the aspects that I've chosen here is to make sure that I earn, and from the earning part is more entrepreneurial and not only from the current work that I have. I'd like to save and invest. With regards to earning and particularly focusing on being an entrepreneur, I'd like to have 5 minutes per day in order to come up with ideas for my products that I would like to sell and have a weekly product development session. This can take maybe an hour or 30 minutes, anything between 30 minutes and an hour, that will help in order to get those products ready for market. I've also stated that I'd like to have weekly product development. This will help me to develop products and make sure that they get to market on time. With regards to the savings, I already have automated transactions that just take money from one account and put it in my savings account. But what I've noticed is that I can go for maybe 2 or 3 years without updating these savings limits. And nowadays, you see that inflation has an impact on the cost of everything. So it doesn't make sense to have the same savings amount that you had 3 years ago for expenses that keep rising. I want to increase my savings on a regular basis, still meeting the basics that I need at home, but increase the savings that I have. So I need to review these savings and make sure that I'm increasing them. And what's important with the savings is to review my daily expenses, because those expenses can really add up. And before you know it, you don't have anything else to save. Investments. A habit that I would like to form over here is to review my portfolio weekly. In the past, I've had an standoff type of approach to my portfolio, but if I'm being honest, the markets move too quickly for me to be having such a standoff approach to my portfolio. My approach was to just buy and let it be, no matter what the fluctuations are. But I think a better approach would be to have a small amount of cash that I keep an active eye on. And this I can use to actually grow my portfolio and really keep an eye on it on a weekly basis or even on a daily basis. But those are details. Right now, I will focus on reviewing my portfolio weekly, stay informed with the company news, and find information that actually affects the companies that I've chosen to invest in. Career. Over here, I would like to contribute, like I've already said, and I've broken it down into 3 main areas: my individual work, the skills that I want to develop in order to basically boost my individual work, and having a mentor and being a mentor. With regards to my individual work, daily review of my work in order to always up the quality that I provide is important, and document the lessons that I've learned. I actually run projects. So from each project, there's definitely some lessons that I have learned, and a better documentation of that can really come in handy. It's very easy to actually be distracted, especially in the morning. But in the morning, I would like to focus on doing linear work, and then in the afternoon, more creative work. Skills development. It's very easy to actually lose yourself in just working the whole time without focusing on the skills part that improve your work. So doing something like having 10 minutes to learn something new that is particularly going to help you in your work is quite important. I've written that down as one of the habits that I want to start implementing. The small ones also matter, and small improvements actually build up to form really, really big changes in your life. And also kind of give you a break to process what you've learned before going on to the next part that you need to learn. And something that I want to put into practice is creating and following a learning path. There's a lot of changes that happen in the career and the work aspects of life. But if I want to make meaningful progress in my career, having a learning path to follow will really come in handy. Mentorship. I have a mentor and I mentor somebody else. So for me, it's both sides of the spectrum. With my mentor, I want to show him just how much I appreciate his time that he's putting into developing me by showing the progress that I've made with all the advice that he has given, surprising them by being helpful towards him because it's a two-way street, huh? And also making sure that it's clear what I want to achieve from each of the meetings that we have. With my mentee, copying the skills that my mentor brings to the table and practicing them on my mentee will make me a better mentor. For now, that is all the habits that I am choosing to form and will keep developing for the foreseeable future. These have become second nature to me to perform. I will then add more and tell you all about it. If you have found any part of this video to be useful and helpful to you, please like the video and subscribe to my channel because I will be sharing just how I implement these into my life and form routines and systems that lead me to solving the challenges of my life priorities. I'll see you on the next one.